Hey guys, Dynasty Warriors 6 here again, not with a game finds video of course, because we are currently on hiatus on that. I decided to come up with I came up with an idea for a video. I decided to do the top 5, my top 5 personal games I recommend for current gen gaming. These are games that I have played, beaten, and I would highly recommend, if you have not played them, to play them and try them out. And they are a lot of fun. I consider them a lot of fun. So there's at least one for, well, there's not any for Wii or Wii U sadly, but there is one for Nintendo. There is a couple for Sony and one for Xbox. So each game system is somewhat represented here. So I'll start off with number 5 that I would recommend for anyone, and it's on Xbox 360. And I consider it a very good game, really. Sega really outdid itself here with Sonic Generations. It's a solid title. I would call Sonic Generations almost a must-have, either on Xbox 360 or whatever system you can get it on. I think it came out on 360. I think it came out on like Nintendo 3DS as well. It came out on a lot of different systems. But if you get the chance to get it, I got it for like $20 at Target, and it was worth every penny. You can play Sonic the Hedgehog 1 in the game by unlocking it, which is really cool. You have so many options. It's really cool. There's a lot of music, a lot of replay value here. You know, you can try to get all the little artwork with the little red rings. There's different ways to finish a map. You know, some are really quick ways. Some take, you know, the long way, the longer way. So it's a really good game. If you get the chance to play and get Sonic Generations on for current gen gaming, give it a try. I would highly recommend this game to anyone who's looking into getting kind of like a platforming game, or back into maybe something a little bit more retro. There's a lot of great retro levels. You know, you have Green Hill Zone. I think there's a Sonic Adventure level, the snowboard level from Sonic Adventure 2. Shadow's in the game, Silver's in the game. There's Sonic Color characters in the game. Chow's. It's everything that's great about Sonic is in this game. So highly recommend this game for anyone who's into current gen gaming. Next up for recommendation, I would say number 4 on this one, and I would say a very good game, and it's Naruto Ultimate Ninja Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 3. This game is extremely well designed, well voice acted. You have a choice between going from the English dub to the English sub and have the Japanese dub instead. I prefer the Japanese dub just because I've kind of grown up with that and listened to that more. But the game is really well done. The boss battle, it feels like when you're fighting some of the monster, like the 9 tails, or like not the 9 tails, but the 7 tails and the 9 tails and the 8 tail. When you fight these guys, they're huge. They're massive, and you really feel tiny compared to them. You feel small, and you're fighting against these huge monsters, and it just is incredible. The music is great, the voice acting is fantastic, the quick time events are great. I actually 100%ed this game. I got 100% completion. I got a platinum trophy on this. It was difficult. There is thankfully no online trophies. You don't have to do any like online matches to get any trophy. It's all in the story trophy, and the objective is basically to get S ranking on all the battles, or most of the battles, which is hard to do. It's harder than it sounds, because basically you can't take any damage, and you just have to be a freaking beast and then just hammer the opponent. And it's a fun game. I would say if you can get it, I would recommend this game. The music is great. It's real emotional. You can tell they really put a lot of effort into this game, and I just recommend it. It's just a great game, and it's just a lot of fun. And if you're a fan of the show, this really is pretty true to the story and the show. Pretty close. It does have its own little ending for after the war, because the war hasn't obviously ended in the manga, so the game can't make up an ending. It's got to kind of stay true to the manga a little bit, but overall, great game. Number 4 on the list. Number 3 that I would recommend for anyone to play is another Sony title. I've talked about this game a few times, and it's Dynasty Warriors 7. Now I know Dynasty Warriors 8 just came out. I have watched gameplay footage of it. I have watched Dynasty Warriors 8. I've seen Dynasty Warriors 8, and it looks good. It does. But Dynasty Warriors 7 for me was just kind of like, when I played it, I was just wowed. It was Like, it's stuck to the story when people die. There's no what if scenarios of what if they lived. They die. Like Dion Way, he dies. You know, these guys die in battle. You see it. You kind of feel for them, and it can be pretty emotional at points. The voice acting is great. They kept a lot of the original voice actors from 6 to 7. Only I think I noticed a few differences. But Dong Zhuo's voice actor was the same, and he's great. I love Richard Epcar. Fantastic voice actor. Zhao Yun's is, of course, the same. But the gameplay is back to the original Dynasty Warriors. So it's not like Dynasty Warriors 6 where it's like infinite comboing. It's like a set pattern attack and everything like that with triangle and square. But overall, even if you don't like Dynasty Warriors, the story in this game is really well done. You play as Shu. They recommend you play as Shu, Wu, and Wei, or whatever order of those three. And you play Jin last. And the story of Jin is really well told, very well shown. You really get that sense that that they're still at war, but yet they're trying to achieve more. It's a really well done story. So if you can get Dynasty Warriors 7, at least try it out once. Play out like Wei. I really recommend Wei every time. The Wei story of Cao Cao. Very good game. And very well done in voice acting. So that's number 3. Number 2, and I think a lot of people would recommend this game just because it is a great game and it's very well done, is Ni no Kuni. If you have not played Ni no Kuni, you are definitely missing out. Ni no Kuni is a beautiful Japanese RPG. Very well done. The music is incredible. There's a lot of references to Studio Ghibli's former animes. Porco Rosso, there's a reference to that. Howl's Moving Castle, there's a reference to that because there's a castle floating in the sky that looks pretty, not 100% similar, but I would definitely argue 50 to 60% similar to that movie. There's a lot of great characters, a lot of great animation, a lot of great cutscenes. I wish there was a little bit more on the cutscenes. Just a little bit more on the anime cutscenes. Like, they definitely teased at it, and they definitely showed them off. I would have just liked a little bit more. But Ni no Kuni, if you have not played Ni no Kuni, I would recommend you play Ni no Kuni. It is a great game. There are a few annoying characters. Drippy, me and Jason both dislike Drippy. I know some people like Drippy. I do not like Drippy at all. But it's a good story, and you really feel for one of the villains after a while because you definitely can tell he's struggling with his own moral compass. And then the girl, you feel bad for. There's a lot of great characters you can sympathize with, and a lot of people who you see these things happen to them and you think, man, that's terrible. How could that happen to that person? But then sometimes you see the circumstances building towards it, and you think that's what could happen. So Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. If you have not played it, I would recommend you try it out as quickly as possible. If you're not a fan of JRPGs, this is a good one to maybe get yourself involved in, kind of get yourself started in it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But I would say give the story a chance. It's a really good story too, and it's got a lot of side quests even after you beat the main game, which is great for replay value. So that's number 2, and number 1 currently that I would recommend to play. I think a couple people would recommend this game. It's on Nintendo 3DS, and it is Project X Zone. I just recently finished this game, and that's why I've been not really on YouTube recently, is I have been playing this game pretty religiously, like every day after work for like 4 hours. This game takes a long time. Battles take quite a while. It's very well done though. I love the fact there's a scene where Jin from Tekken, Ryu from Street Fighter, and Akira from Virtual Fighter are all talking at one point. And it's really cool because they all talk and they all know each other, which is really cool to see on the screen when they're talking. It is all Japanese voice acted, and it does have English text writing, but sometimes you don't, like, they say things and there's no text. It's just you have to assume or maybe just kind of think what they're saying. It's a really good game though. Very long. There is replay value because if you play it and beat the game, you have a choice of playing it again at a harder difficulty, which is kind of astounding because it is pretty difficult already. And you can unlock music and stuff. But the game is great. A lot of the characters are a lot of fun to play with. And there's a lot of great dialogue between characters that meet, like Akira and Jin and Ryu. They have dialogue about fighting. There's dialogue between Mega Man and Zero with Tron, Chun-Li and Juri and Morgan. There's just a lot of great dialogue, a lot of inside references to other games, like Mega Man Legends gets a reference a couple times. There's a couple references to, you know, Ula Ula, Space Channel 5, Part 2, and Return and all that crap. There's just a lot of great things. Devil May Cry has a couple references with Dante and Lady. She's in the game. There's a lot of great games that cross over into this. You know, you have Devil May Cry, you've got, you know, Resident Evil, you've got Mega Man, and you've got Tales of Vesperia, and you've got there's just so many games. It's just like, it's unbelievable how many characters cross over into this one game. It's a lot of fun. I would definitely recommend this game. It's my #1 game right now that I would recommend for you to play. If you're looking for a game that's going to definitely take you a while, and just, you know, if you have nothing better to do all day, I would recommend this game, because here's your chance to just kill some time. And the nice thing is you can quick save during a battle, because I'm not kidding, some of the battles, like the final battle, took me like 3-4 hours. It could take some time, so unless you're willing to devote 3-4 hours, you could quick save during the battle and come back to it. The only problem is if you forget how you're fighting, like your strategy a little bit, then you're going to be kind of hard pressed, because then you might lose an ally or two before you get your momentum back into the game. But highly recommend this game. A lot of great characters, a lot of great references, and I could see a sequel being done, and I would love to see even Koei or Tecmo involved in a sequel as well. I'd get those guys to bring their characters into this game and just bring a huge assortment of characters. But the assortment of characters they have are amazing. So that's it. That's Project X-Zone is definitely #1. So those are the games I recommend, guys. If you ever get the chance to check them out, definitely check them out. They're Dynasty Warriors 6's personal recommendations for the current gen gaming. So if you're looking for something that's current gen and you haven't played any of these, or you maybe haven't played just one of these games, I recommend them. Each one I would recommend you to try out and play, and they're all relatively not bad. Like Sonic Generations is relatively inexpensive. Like at Target, it's like $20, $15. You can find probably a used copy at GameStop for probably less than that. Dynasty Warriors 7 I don't see very often, but you know, you might get lucky. Naruto is still kind of expensive. Ni no Kuni is still a little expensive, and Project X-Zone is going to run you like $40, $30, $40 easily still, because it's still semi brand new. But if you can get any one of these games, there's a lot of replay value in Sonic Generations, Naruto, Ni no Kuni, and Project X-Zone. Dynasty Warriors 7 is probably the only game that you'll get through fairly quickly. That, you know, if you just play it, you'll get through it fairly quickly and not have any real. There's not a lot of replay except playing different stories, and then that's it. And then maybe, I don't know, just doing the legend mode, that could take you a while. Conquering 128 little scenarios, that could take some time. But other than that, if you're not into that and you're just into the story, Dynasty Warriors 7 will be a quick game, as well as Sonic Generations a little bit. But thanks, guys, for tuning in. We will try to have a video up either by next week or the following weekend. We are kind of going into a bi-weekly thing just because of the hiatus, and we're all busy right now with just bills and rent and getting things organized and cleaned up a little bit right now. Currently, we're trying to get ready for Portland Retro as well. I think Jason's also getting ready for a Comic-Con, a Rose City Comic-Con, so a lot going on. So definitely stay tuned. We'll definitely have another video up, so I'll definitely see you guys later in the week.